This is a quick video on the Grizzly belt sander and the Chicago electric bandsaw. It's not a review, and I'm sick. That's why I sound weird. Alright guys, first up is the belt sander. It is a Grizzly belt sander, model H6070. I got it off Amazon, and it has a 1-inch belt. The vertical sanding area is roughly 5 inches. I mostly use this area right here when I'm sanding tubes. I changed the belt about 3 times, I think. And the disc is, what is that? It's about a 5-inch diameter disc. Really not much to say about this except that it's easy to change the belt. You just loosen the tension here and you unscrew this and it takes the cover off. What else? It's got plenty of power. I've never run into a situation where I was like sanding something here or here and it slowed down. It just keeps going, no problem. The only thing to watch out for with this sander is its size. So when it's running, when you have it on, the temptation to move it while it's running is pretty high. When I first got this machine, I had it on and I went to grab it and I went to move it, and I grabbed it like this. I literally went like this, and I sanded my finger down a little bit and it was bleeding. Nothing terrible, but just an annoyance, so really be careful. That's interesting. So I never noticed this before, or I did and just forgot about it, but it has these holes to put like a shop's vacuum on here. And if you look at this, I've made quite a bit of dust, so maybe I'll hook up a shop vacuum next time. I just never think of it because I'm too busy just quickly sanding stuff. You turn it on, you use it, and that's it. I probably never hooked up the shop vac because who wants to turn on 2 things when you're just doing a quick sanding? I usually wear a mask too because all this stuff would be in your lungs if you were not. There's one on this side too for this. That's all I really have to say about this. It's a great machine. Hasn't caused me any problems, and yeah. Okay, and now for the star of the show, the Chicago electric bandsaw. This has been in like almost all of my videos. I use this, I think, the most of any of my tools. It did not come like this. I made this table, this upright stand. And what else did I do? I also modded it in this way. I cut this little hole because when I'm sanding, these chips just pile up in here. I had to change the belt. I had to change the blade one day, and just like a bucket of chips just came out. So yeah, put this hole here, and I just stick the vacuum in here occasionally and clean it out that way. So let me show you how this looks when it's not vertical. Okay, this plate is held on by 2 screws. See them right here. So I'll take those off. And when I made this little table here, I welded a little tab on here, and I made it the right length so that it could fit like this in here. This came stock with this guy right here, like that. I'll just put it on sort of so you can see what it looks like. And now I'll take it off this. Oh yeah. Let's see what size is that. Wrong. Alright. I never know the sizes of any screws. I just like try every wrench until it fits in there. Alright, take this off. So this is held on to this stand by only these 2 screws, and this is a plate underneath. I just slipped it in there and then put this back on. Get out of the way, bike. Whoa. Alright. This is gonna take forever. Man. Oh. Okay. What the heck? Alright, you stay on there. Okay, so here's what the stand looks like. I got this little tab here that just kind of supports, holds the bottom. I forget how, but it just kind of leans up against this. And this goes between the handle, and then I welded these little things in here so the bottom could just kind of seat into here. I'll put this back on so you can see how the saw comes by default. I think I stripped the screw at some point because it's really hard to get in there now. Alright, that's good. Okay, so when it shows up, it looks like this, and this is how you normally use it. You make like cuts like this. I think I used it once this way when I first got it, and since then I put it on this stand, and I've never used it the other way. It's always on the stand. I've never had to take it off. Okay, so let me show you how it goes back on the stand. It just does this. That's it. Just sits on there like that. Then this handle goes back on. Yeah, here it is back together again. And the nice thing about this whole thing is when I need to change the blade, I can still do it without taking these things on and off and all that crap. So I put these thumb screws on here. Alright, so I got the cover off, and here's what it looks like with no cover. And to change this, all you do is you turn this to loose, and then that releases the tension, and the blade just comes right off. So the only control to this guy really is this. You push this down, it engages, and you push this and it holds the trigger down. And that's how I use this saw. And so if you turn this will change the speed. It's got a variable speed. And if you push it again, it just releases. So this is not ideal. What I should do is get a switch that this plugs into, because it's kind of dangerous if I need to turn this off, or even turning it on. I gotta like reach around to here and then do that business, and it's never felt natural or safe, so I should make a switch for it. So the only other thing is this is quite noisy, and when I'm using it I always put these on when I'm using it because it's really loud. The only safety issue I ever ran into with this is in my earlier videos I was wearing gloves, and someone commented saying I shouldn't, and so I stopped wearing gloves. And yeah, that's good practice. So down here when I'm cutting stuff, there was this one time I was cutting something and I was pushing it like this, and my finger, like I can touch the blade right here, and my finger like touched the blade, and it gave me a little nick on my fingernail, and that's it. But after that I was like very careful about this, because there is an opening here and you can get your finger down there, so just be aware of that if you're using it in this way. Let me show you guys the clearance for this blade. So when you're cutting anything, if it's a big enough workpiece, it will eventually hit this back spot here. So what I've had to do in some cases is I would cut and I haven't got all the way through. I take it out and then I turn it and cut it this way. Let's see how much. So it's it's only about, yeah, you only have like 2 inches. So if you're cutting anything and you're gonna come all the way out the other end, you can only cut off about 2 inches here. I've not really run into that problem. Most of the time I'm cutting bar or tubing or something like that. So I got this saw off Amazon for under 200, and honestly I thought it would have broken down by now. Okay, that's it for these 2 machines. In the next video we'll talk about the Everlast TIG welder. I'll see you guys later.